पिला बेलाती रे छंद डाणी लोसों से नाम दारा गारा बेलाती Chandamani loson senanda nadara dipilati kiri chanda jano sahi.
Hare Krishna. So, thank you very much for this wonderful dance. I think it was a beautiful scenery here in the nature with all the mountains and the Yamuna River next to us. And at the foot of Govardhan Hill, in the fresh grass where Krishna's cows are herding. So the next step will be that we will ask our dear sannyasis Jayadvaita Maharaj and Sri Satyananda Maharaj to offer gilam to the deities, while Badahari Prabhu will start kirtan. And very important, please devotees all come closer together for the kirtan. We don't need any space anymore for the dance, so please come closer. Oh, and Keshav Maharaj, we would also like to invite you to offer the gilam to the deities. Ja. Mhm.
Okay, also laut genug? Laut, oder? Okay. Dann tue ich jetzt noch. Wo ist das Mikrofon? Müsst ihr jetzt mal schauen, wie das mit dem. Hier ist mein Mikrofon. Diese. Laut, oder? Okay. Ja, ich weiß auch nicht, wie wegbringt.
Welches Mikro ist denn an?
Please sing with me.
Hier das.
Om Jnana Timirandasya.
Du, das steht hier die ganzen Sänger dran.
Gananjana Salakaya.
Was? Wenn ich dir die ganzen Sänger dran mache.
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Sarvakadamayam Dadati Samadantikam Vande Krishna Jaya Vrindavan. Hare Krishna,
wanted to read a little from Krishna book. I will tell you when my glasses are there. So just Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna. My dear devotees, how do you like the surrounding atmosphere? It is very nice when the mind is peaceful, then you can appreciate. Let us hear a little bit about Krishna in this atmosphere. You must know that Krishna also liked good atmospheres. He would go in the autumn season when the lakes were crystal clear into the forest of Vrindavan for herding the cows, but for also playing his transcendental flute. And devotees have always remembered this and then made little excursions with Krishna, taking him to beautiful places and serving him picnic, playing for him dramas. This time I think we had a dance drama. It is all Krishna-centered activities, activities to give pleasure for Krishna. So I want to read a little bit from Krishna books so that you can understand a little bit about the Lord whose name you are singing. This is very important at a certain stage in your spiritual life. With the arrival of the beautiful autumn season, the waters in the lakes and rivers became as clear as crystal and filled with fragrant lotus flowers, and breezes blew very pleasantly. At that time, Krishna entered the forest of Vrindavan with the cows and cowherd boys. Krishna was very much pleased with the atmosphere of the forest, where flowers bloomed and bees and drones hummed very jubilantly. Then Krishna is described as playing on his transcendental flute. And it is very beautiful to hear a little bit or have the image of Krishna playing his flute in the forest of Vrindavan. When the gopis were describing the sweet vibration of Krishna's flute, they stayed back in the Vrindavan village. Krishna left in the morning through the eastern gate, the Vrindavan township or village. And then after some time, when his parents and the elders stayed back, he danced very jubilantly, being freed from the parental supervision, and entered the forest with his cows and danced and played the flute. So the gopis who stayed back heard this flute playing from the distance, and they remembered their pastimes with Krishna. Thus their minds became disturbed, and they were unable to describe completely the beautiful vibrations. But something they described. So while discussing the transcendental vibration, they remembered also how Krishna was dressed, decorated with who knows? A peacock feather on his head, just like a dancing actor, and with blue flowers pushed over his ear. His garment glowed yellow gold. Sometimes it's described, it looked as electricity flashing up and down. His garments glowed yellow gold, and he was garlanded with a, what garland? Vaijajanti. These are 5 different types of flowers, and the garland is not a short garland. It reaches where? Up to the knees. Wow. Dressed in such an attractive way, Krishna filled up the holes of his flute with the nectar emanating from his lips. You must know that the love which is in Krishna's heart comes out at 2 places of his transcendental body. One is through his feet, and it goes to the dust of Vrindavan, so it is loving dust. And the other is the love comes out through his transcendental lips and fills the holes of his flute with the nectar. So they remembered him entering the forest of Vrindavan, which is always glorified by the footprints of Krishna and his companions. Prabhupada says it's always glorified. That means there was a secret rule in Vrindavan. No one would step over Krishna's footprints and erase them or wipe them out. Not even the wind would blow and cover or disturb the distinct footprints on Krishna's feet. What were the prints? Do you know some of the prints which were found in the dust of Vrindavan? A chakra. When you meditate about the chakra, Jai Gopal, the dirt in the enemies in the heart will be destroyed. There was a Dhanus, a bow. The what? Sun? Maybe because you have transcendental vision, but it's not yet mentioned by the acharyas. Other signs? Sorry? I can't hear you acoustically. Lotus, yes. Fish. Sorry? And Ankush. Yes, Ankush is this little, it's a stick like this, which has a hook, a metal hook, and the mahout, that is the elephant guide, who sits on the neck of the elephant, uses the Ankush and gives the elephant a signal here, behind the ear, where it's very soft and delicate and sensitive, and the elephant knows, okay, right or left or so on. It is described when you meditate about the Ankush, your restless mind, elephant mind, goes, it becomes still. You know, when the elephant goes over the Loy Bazaar, its trunk goes left to steal some orange, or right to steal some bananas. It's described, this movement of the trunk of the elephant is the movement of the mind. The mind accepts things, and then it swings around and rejects sometimes the same thing. So meditate on Krishna's Ankush, on the lotus feet, and your mind problem is solved. So, and so on. Krishna was very expert in playing the flute, and the gopis were captivated by the sound vibration, which was attractive not only to them, but to all living creatures who heard it. Later we will hear that the birds came all to the trees under which Krishna was playing his flute, and they sat down and closed their eyes, not for sleeping purposes, but for meditating about the sound of the flute. And in this way they actually became munis, great saints. One of the gopis told her friends, hey, the highest perfection of the eyes is to see Krishna and Balaram entering the forest and playing their flutes and tending the cows with their friends. Let us end this section. Persons who are constantly engaged in the transcendental meditation of seeing Krishna internally and externally, by thinking of him playing the flute, entering the Vrindavan forest, and tending the cows with the cowherd boys, have really attained the perfection of samadhi, or trance, which is an absorption of all the activities of the senses in a particular object. So, those who have organized this program, my dear devotees, Radha Kripa and Jai Gopal, if I'm right, yes, they were thinking a little bit that by bringing the deities out into this atmosphere and calling this river by a very pleasing name, and the mountains by an even more pleasing name, Yamuna and Govardhan, you can a little bit enter into what this is describing, an engagement of the mind with Krishna internally, thinking of Krishna, playing the flute, entering the Vrindavan forest, and tending the cows with the cowherd boys. This reading we could continue more, but time is also there. If you want to read these very nice descriptions, you can see them as vignettes, little frames, so to say, for your meditation. This has been taken from Krishna book, chapter 21, the gopis attracted by the flute. And it's a very beautiful chapter which describes a lot about Krishna, Krishna's associates, the Vrindavan forest, and how everyone in Vrindavan, the deers, the rivers, the clouds, everything, the wind also, relate to Krishna and put him in the center. This is very nice. So thank you very much for coming out here, this is also time to congratulate you. This is the first full day of your Bhakti Retreat here in the forest. I think you have, not forest, in the valley of the Himalayas. Honestly, I heard that the Himalaya mountains go and bend very low and then go in the ocean and under the ocean and come out as the Alps. Prabhupada, when he was here in St. Moritz, he would speak of a passageway in the Alpine mountains through which higher beings or devatas would come and go and visit planet Earth. And when I stayed in Switzerland, I remember once going to one monastery in the course of our preaching and meeting a Sanskrit scholar, a Pandit, in his dhoti and little fine chadar in a snowstorm, and I asked him, what are you doing here? And he said, I'm trying to find the passageway to the heavenly planets. And then he quoted some shastra where this is. Fine. So your first full day has been completed. I, in the name of the organization, want to sincerely thank you for taking so nicely part and creating such an atmosphere. But please know it's only the first day. We have some days more to go. So pace yourself. See that you remain in a positive spirit. Stay curious, stay inquisitive, stay alert, and you will have many treasures. So I wish you all the best. Good night and Hare Krishna. See you tomorrow. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Okay. You're successful. Jay.
Can I get the microphone back?
Oh yeah. I was looking at that and wondering.
Thank you.
You know when you're organized, you just see the bad stuff. But we will learn them. Yeah? You have no idea how much it is. That's what we wanted to do. It's the first day. Thank you so much.
So nice, thank you.
Du, ich war im Eisinn. Du kannst lang beim 2 anschrauben, weißt du, im Eisinn.
Was heißt beim 2 anschrauben?
Ich habe 2 Eingänge. Das ist Input 1, das ist die 2 und Input 2 sind da unten. Weil das ist mehr für die Gitarre gemacht und der Input 1 ist mehr für Stimmen.
Und da ist der Equalizer-Code gar nicht drauf?
Ja, das ist nur ein Ton. Höhe.
Was jetzt? Ich habe gedacht, irgendetwas stimmt nicht, aber ja, das ist es. Und warum steckst du nicht ins 2, damit man es regeln kann?
Im 2 habe ich einfach schlechte Erfahrung, dass es
Schlechte Erfahrung gemacht.
Feedback gibt.
Ah, okay.
Der 1 ist für Stimmen gemacht und der 2